Because are we black? No, but they use that as a term because when you think black, what do you think? Do you wear black to normally? Do you wear black to a celebration? No. Nah, you wear white or something like that. Black you usually wear to like a funeral. It's always something used to mean it's something bad, right? So they're not black. The Bible describes them as red. That's what the Bible describes them, right? But what happens is we don't see Christ in one another. We've always saw Christ as a blonde-haired, blue-eyed guy, right? But when we see each other, we don't see that. We don't see that Christ looks just like us. That's why it makes it so easy for us to kill one another. For example, we may not want to admit it, but psychologically, they have shown or proven that we believe that the white man is God. There's curses. When you read 1 through 14, those are the blessings that we would get for keeping his commandments. But when you read 15 through 68, those were the curses that was going to come upon us as a people. This is how we know that we're the Israelites, because nobody else fits these curses, right? But read that for me.
Jeremiah 17 verse 4. And thou, even thyself, shall discontinue from thy heritage.
So we discontinue from the heritage that God gave us. What is our heritage now? Getting drunk, chilling on the block, going to the club, being whoremongers, right? I'm not sitting here saying people in here, but what I'm saying is us as a people, right? This is what our community or what culture we think is culture, right? But that's not what God gave us. Now go back to Deuteronomy 28. So now, how do we know that we're the Israelites, right? It's because these curses that was going to come upon us. I'm going to read a few of them, right? Any of y'all believe in the Bible? Yeah. Y'all believe in the Bible? I know, and it's alright if we don't, because my dad's a pastor, and I grew up in the church, and I got to a point where I didn't believe in the Bible. I didn't believe what they was teaching, none of that, because the Christian churches have always taught us wrong, right? But now that I've come to the true understanding, it's really that the Bible was not really taught to us, right? So this is how we know that we are Israelites according to the Bible. Read verse 32.
Verse 32. Thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people.
So y'all remember slavery, right? Who as a nation of people were their sons and their daughters given into another people? Did it happen to the Arabs? Did they hold sons and daughters in their nation get taken from their land? Did that ever happen to them? I don't see that in history, right? The only people that happened to was blacks in 1619, Hispanics and Native Americans in 1492. Go ahead.
And thine eyes shall look, and there was longing for them all the day long.
Right.
And there shall be no might in thine hand.
And it said we didn't have no might to get our children back when they took them in slavery, right? But now, we use that for back then, right? Well, what about today? Y'all heard the school to prison pipeline? That is a system that they have put in place, what? To keep our children in jail. How do I want to word this? Who majority fills the prisons? Blacks do, right? Oh, guess what? And that's in the Bible. Watch this, Isaiah 40, is it 22, 42, 42, 22? Something like that. Read that for me.
Isaiah chapter 22, verse 22. But this is a people robbed and spoiled.
So the Bible says that us, we're a people that's robbed and spoiled. Look what happened to us as a nation of people. They took our heritage, they took our land, they took, they raped and killed us, they took everything it was that we owned.
They are all of them snared in holes.
They are snared in holes. Snared is another word for a trap. What do we call the hood? What's the common term that we call the hood? It's a trap. And it literally is a trap. Name one person you know that grew up in the hood that didn't end up in debt or in jail. When I come to talking about selling drugs and illegal activity, right? The trap. Name one person that has been in these activities that has not ended up in prison or dead. Everybody has at some point that has dealt in those activities, right? So read that for me.
And they are hid in prison houses.
It said that we were going to be in prison houses. That's something that's in the Bible. I didn't write this. This was written thousands of years ago. But yet God said because we left his laws that we were going to be hid in prison houses. And yet we know today that the majority of people that fill the prisons are blacks and Hispanics, right? Nobody can sit there and say that these ain't facts. And this is coming straight out the Bible. Now go back to Deuteronomy 28. Give me verse 48.
Verse 48. Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies.
So again, mind you, this has never been taught to us in Christianity. So this is a curse to the Israelites. Letting you know, it said that you were going to serve your enemies. Come on.
Which the Lord shall send against thee.
Because in church they say everybody can be saved, right? But if everybody can be saved, then who's the enemy? There's something that they taught us during slavery to keep us submissive to them. Read that.
And hungry.
So it said that we were going to serve them in hunger. Right now, who controls the distribution of the food in the United States? Is it blacks? Is it Chinese? Who is it?
White people.
White people, right? Come on.
And in third.
Same thing with water. Who you got to pay your water bill to? That comes freely out the sky, but yet they charge you monthly for a water bill, something that they claim they own that comes freely from the sky. Go ahead.
And in nakedness.
Same thing with clothes. Yeah, you may have a clothing brand, Sean John, Fubu, what's some of the new ones? Rockaware, stuff like that, right? You may have your own brand, but who owns those textiles that they ship in for you to even make those clothes? So-called white man, right? Come on.
And in want of all things.
So think about it. Anything you wanted. If you wanted a barber license, who did you have to go to? You have to go to the state. They say, and who runs the government? White folks, right? So this Bible is true, right? Now, even if we didn't understand all of that part, it's going to get a little bit more clear. Go ahead.
And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck.
A yoke of iron. Who got a flyer real quick?
It's on a poster right
Oh,
there.
yeah. Look at this. These were yokes of irons that they put upon our necks in slavery. This is what they did to us as a people. So maybe if we didn't understand what it was saying earlier in the verse, now it's letting you know these same people put yokes of iron upon your necks. Who did that happen to? Who did that to us? White people. It's history, right? We know that. This is history that they don't even want to teach in the schools anymore. This is something that they tell you that, oh, it was what do they say, a mass migration. We didn't volunteer to come over here. But yet they're trying to change the narrative. Go ahead.
Until he have destroyed thee.
How did he destroy? So it said he was going to put yokes of irons on our neck until he have destroyed us, right? Do we still walk around here with yokes of irons and chains on us? No. But how did he destroy us? Who kills each other the most in America? But we do. Blacks, Hispanics, and everything. We kill each other at an astronomical rate. They have destroyed us and pitted us against each other to make it seem as we're at odds against each other. Y'all remember the Boondocks? And you remember the nigga moment?
Watch where you walking, nigga. Hey, what you say, nigga?
Watch closely. You're about to experience a nigga moment. Webster defines the nigga moment as a moment when ignorance overwhelms the mind of an otherwise logical Negro male.
Y'all remember that? Y'all know what I'm talking about. For some reason, if I bump you, now we gotta shoot it out. We gotta fight it out. Why do we have that mentality? Because we don't see Christ in each other. That's what. Let me get that real quick. They have painted. Hold that. Give me Revelation. They have painted Christ as a white man, right? So, which really he's not white. Because are we black? No, but they use that as a term because when you think black, what do you think? Do you wear black to normally? Do you wear black to a celebration? No. Nah, you wear white or something like that. Black you usually wear to like a funeral. It's always something used to mean it's something bad, right? So they're not black. The Bible describes them as red. That's what the Bible describes them, right? But what happens is we don't see Christ in one another. We've always saw Christ as a blonde-haired, blue-eyed guy, right?
Shalom, Israel. This is Bishop Nathaniel. I want you to know that you can view all our Sabbath classes live on IUIC TV. That's right, I said on IUIC TV. Download the app today. Shalom.
But when we see each other, we don't see that. We don't see that Christ looks just like us. That's why it makes it so easy for us to kill one another. For example, we may not want to admit it, but psychologically, they have shown or proven that we believe that the white man is God. How do I know? When George Floyd got killed, what did we do as a people? What's that? We got together. What else did we do? Riot. We was tearing everything up, right? But when Pookie kills Ray Ray, what happens? Nothing, because we don't care. We don't care about each other. We say that we do, but we don't sit there and try to put that same energy when one of our own people die by each other, by the hands of each other. When a white man kills us, we lose our mind because we think he's God. But we don't see each other as God. Watch this. Give me Revelation. Read this.
Revelation chapter 1 and verse 14. His head and his hairs were white like wool.
So the Bible said that he had white, woolly hair, right? So now, y'all barbers, y'all see all types of hair textures when y'all come through here. Who as a nation of people have woolly hair? Black people, we do. So the thing is, they'll sit there and try to pull the Jedi mind trick. Well, it doesn't matter, right? But if it don't matter, why wouldn't you just paint him how it's depicted in the Bible, right? So it said he had woolly hair that was white. Come on.
As white as snow.
Come on.
And his eyes were as a flame of fire.
Because he drunk wine. Read.
And his feet like unto fine brass.
So if we take our shoes off right now, our feet are the same color as the rest of our body, right? Even more so back then because they wore sandals, right? Come on.
As if they burned in a furnace.
So it said his feet was as brass. What color is brass? Or what? Brown, right? Now, if you burn it in a furnace, we all done burn something on a grill, burn something in a pot. What color does it turn? Black. So Christ was a very dark-skinned man.
That's right.
That's not what was taught to us. We've been taught. They didn't teach that Christ was an image like this. So when we see each other, we don't see Christ in one another. That's why it's so easy for us to, and I'm guilty of it, sell drugs, see each other, fight one another, make our women single parent mothers, not taking care of our children. This is what we have done. I mean, this is what has happened as a result of not keeping God's laws. But through slavery, go back, that's where I want to go, Deuteronomy 28. But they changed this all through slavery. So remember at verse 48. Remember at the top of what verse 48 said. Read that.
Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 68. And the Lord said,
48.
48. Yeah.
No, the top.
Therefore, thou shalt serve thine enemies.
So the Bible said we was going to serve our enemies. Do you think that, because how long have we marched for equal rights? Forever, right? How long have we been voting? Has anything ever changed for so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans? Not at all. For an example, right now in the Constitution, it still states that you're 3/5 of a man. So why is that? You want to know why they're able to kill us and they don't go to jail? For example, Breonna Taylor, right? They just had the other cops that was involved, right? What was their verdict? Were they guilty? Y'all haven't seen it? But they were not guilty. George Floyd, what about his people? Not guilty. Tamir Rice, they shot and gunned him down. They weren't convicted, right? Watch this. This is in the Bible. This is the thing. A lot of times we think that, and I get it, we see the Bible and sometimes we think it's like a fairy tale book, right? Not understanding that there's things that are in here that actually pertain to, all of it pertains to us back then and what we're living to today. Read that.
Zechariah chapter 11 and verse 5. Whose possessors slay them.
Because right now, are we free? No. We ain't free at all. So it says, whose possessors slay us. George Floyd, Samir Rice, Mike Brown, Fernando Castile, Freddie Gray, Breonna Taylor, all these, what was the one in Tulsa, Henry Johnson, that was like Sharon's Crutcher, right? All of these people have been gunning us down, and it's an ongoing thing, right? Right? Go ahead.
And hold themselves not guilty.
And what?
Hold themselves not guilty.
All of them ones that I named, every single one of them were told not guilty. That's in the Bible. So at this point, we want to be like, if I sit there and tell you right now, hey, in about 5 minutes, a red car is going to get in an accident with a green car right here in front of the shop, and it happens just like I said it happened. You're going to be like, okay, maybe this makes sense. This is what the Bible is telling us. The Bible is giving us actual history and prophecy of things that happened and that are coming to pass right now. Give me verse 65. Deuteronomy 28, verse 65.
Verse 65.
And remember, like I said, if y'all have any questions, don't hesitate to stop and ask me, all right? Go ahead.
And among these nations shalt thou find no ease.
So read that again.
And among these nations shalt thou find no ease.
Have we ever found ease in America? Never. We've never found ease in America. We've been marching, we've been voting, we've been rioting, and we still ain't had we had a so-called black president. And you know the only thing that he did while he was in office was give rights to gays. That was it. He didn't do anything to benefit us. Read it. That's another thing on the Boondocks. I don't know if y'all remember. He was granddad. He said, so what did he do for the people? Nothing. Nothing at all. Read.
Neither shall the sole of thy foot have rest.
How hard y'all gotta work just to make ends meet? You gotta hustle. How many of us even, and it may be now, but how many of us have worked 2, 3, 4 jobs just to make sure they're hustling, just to make sure that we doing something? I know growing up we was cutting grass. You good? Cutting grass, shoveling snow, raking leaves. It started as we was young trying to find some type of hustle, right? Then we grow up, we realize it's harder for us as we continue to grow up, and we hustle. We do what we do. We do what we do in order to try to just make ends meet for our family, right? Read.
But the Lord shall give thee there a trembling heart.
The Bible says the Lord was going to give us a trembling heart. As a people, we were going to have a trembling heart. Fear, right? I'm going to show you. Anytime the police pull up behind you and them red and blues turn on and you hear that whoop whoop, what happens to your body? You get scared. Why? You ain't even doing nothing wrong, but why you scared?
You don't know how it's going to end.
You don't know how it's going to end. How many times have we seen where they killed our people for no reason? They shot one guy and he complied. The officer told him to get his wallet. He went to get his wallet and he lit him up. That happens to all of us. So read that part again.
And the Lord shall give thee there a trembling heart.
We have a trembling heart. Why? Because of the trauma that we have experienced year after year after year. We see what happens to our people. We know that when we get pulled over, what we got to do, we got to start recording. And guess what? Sometimes that don't even work because look what happened to Fernando Castile. His wife started recording and they still killed him. So we don't know how it's going to end. We don't know if this is going to be the last day we draw our breath. We never got to see our children again. Never got to tell them we love them again because this is the captivity that we live in. Read.
And failing of eye.
Right.
And sorrow of mind.
Come on.
And thy life shall hang in doubt before thee.
The Bible says your life is going to hang in doubt before thee. For example, we move a different way because we understand that, like it says, our life hangs in doubt before us, right? So, you ever seen how white people jog in the hood? They got both earphones in, not a care in the world. Would you ever do that? Why? You got to be aware of your surroundings. They ain't got a care in the world. But we do. Because we understand that because we broke God's laws, these are the curses that have come upon us. Go ahead.
And thou shalt fear day and night.
We're going to fear day and night. When I was growing up, my father used to teach me, when I'm out, when I start driving, when I'm out and I'm going in the stores, keep my hand out my pockets. Don't put a hoodie on. If I got to be driving at night, don't drive with more than one other person with you in the car. These are the things that my father taught me because he knew that it would be easy for me to lose my life out here for doing no wrong. This is what the Bible is talking about. Nobody else teaches their children how not to get killed. But we as a nation of people have to instill this in our children so that we ain't got to be the one burying our sons and daughters because a cop killed them because of no reason. Read.
And shall have none assurance of thy life.
None of us have no assurance of our life. This is what happens to us in this time. All again because we chose not to keep God's laws, right? But now, watch this. How did we get to America as a people?
On a boat.
On boats, right? Check this out. Watch this. This was written in the Bible. We getting it now, but guess what? This Bible was written thousands of years ago, right? But watch this.
Deuteronomy 28 and verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships.
So, we were in slavery in Egypt, right? Egypt only means slavery or bondage. Get that for me in Exodus 20? So, are any of y'all familiar with the Bible, the children of Israel? You know how they served in Egypt in captivity, right? So this is what he's making reference to. Go ahead.
Exodus chapter 20 and verse 2. I am the Lord thy God, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage.
So Egypt is synonymous or the same as bondage, slavery, or captivity, right? Go ahead. So now go back to Deuteronomy 28.
28 verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again.
So the Bible said he was going to bring us into slavery again. Go ahead.
With ships.
With what?
With ships.
The Bible said we was going to go into slavery on cargo slave ships. Who did that happen to? Us. Blacks in 1619, Hispanics and Native Americans in 1492. This Bible don't pertain to nobody else but us. But what happens is through slavery, they took away our heritage. And they put themselves up as they were the chosen people. For example, you hear about the people that call themselves Jews in Israel right now, right? Let's get what the Bible says about them. Read that. Revelation 2 verse 9.
Revelation chapter 2 and verse 9. I know thy works and tribulation.
Because they supposed to be the chosen people on earth, right? They call themselves the Jews, right? Read.
And poverty.
Because he said, I know thy works and thy tribulation and poverty. Are the Jews in poverty? They run, not only do they run the banking system, they run the entertainment.
Hollywood.
They run Hollywood, all your TV channels, your networks, CBS, Fox News.
Music industry.
They own all of that. Guess what? They were the same people that funded or that insured the slave ships. Chase Bank, Wells Fargo, Bank of America. They not poor, right? Go ahead.
But thou art rich.
But the Bible is talking about us. We're rich because everything that's in this Bible pertains to us, right? Go ahead.
And I know the blasphemy of them which say they are Jews.
He said, I know the blasphemy of them that say they are Jews. Go ahead.
And are not.
They are not. What are they?
But are the synagogue of Satan.
The Bible called them the synagogue of Satan. I'm giving Revelation 3 now. Let's get it again. This ain't our words. This is exactly what's in the Bible. Read that.
3 and verse 9. Behold, I will make them of the synagogue of Satan, which say they are Jews.
These people that say they are Jews, they are the synagogue of Satan. Read.
And are not.
And they're not.
But do lie.
They lie.
Behold, I will make them to come and worship before thy feet.
God said that when the time comes, when he returns and redeems all those that kept his commandments, that they're going to worship at our feet. So now, my question is, going through all of this, right? All the things that our forefathers went through, all the things that we're going through today, don't you think it would be a tragedy if we die right along with the people that did all of this to us? Guess what? We don't have to. There's only a simple thing. God said, keep my commandments. That's simple. And guess what? We act like we can't keep God's law. That's what you hear in the Christian churches, right? Oh, we can't keep God's laws. It's too much, right? All right. But this is how, again, let's go back to it, how we fear the white man. Will you, now I know we've done it before, but will you run a red light? No? Okay. Will you just go kill somebody for no reason? No, but that's a law here in America, right? Will you go rob a bank? No, but that's a law in America. You can keep all the white man's laws, but why can't you keep God's laws? This is where we as a people, we sit there as a cop-out. You want to know why? Because the white man said it's okay to do what you want to do. God told you it's not. But you would rather follow him than what the Bible says. And this is what we got to come to the understanding of.
What is a nation? Nation is family. Nation is community. Nation is men leading by example. Nation is women's support. Nation is children with role models.